Hang on. Good morning, Tim. We were sitting here talking to you. A rookie mistake. I forgot to tip the live on. Uh, Happy Father's Day, and it's pegged to the top. You want to come up and join in? You're more than welcome. We'd enjoy your company.
Good morning, Tim. Well, then, as long as I'm going to say this again, I want to say happy Father's Day to my husband. And I love you very much, Dawn, and I hope you have a good day. And to all the guys, everybody that's out in Chatland, I hope you have a great day and what you want to do today for Father's Day. Mostly, I hope you all get to spend it with your children. And a happy Father's Day to my father in heaven. I was blessed with a very, very wonderful father, and I miss him all the time. But he's always a part of my life, even if he's gone. Um, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say this morning. And I thought was, we'll see what you and I do, Dawn. I don't know what your plans are for the day, even. We haven't really sat down and talked about it. Are you going fishing? Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you sleeping?
Good morning, Fresno. Good morning, Mr. Monty. Happy Father's Day to y'all. The link should be posted at the top. Anybody's welcome to jump in. More than appreciate it. Can you see
Dawn,
that at the bottom of your screen?
me?
Yeah. No. Where'd you go?
I'm here.
Where I'm posted on the bottom of the screen.
And hello, how are you today? Oh, and aren't you sweet? I should put my glasses on more often. I'm terrible about wearing them. With Don and I have this really great neighbor. He's an elderly gentleman. I don't even know how old he is because it does never really been important to me. But he's probably um will be 90. But he uh if not already. But he cooks, he barbecues once a year. He got my dad's barbecue when uh daddy moved away from this house. And anyway, every year he uses it once a year for Father's Day. So he cleans it, gets it all together, takes everything apart, gets it all perfect. And it's probably the only time that he ever cooks is Father's Day. And it was really cute because I asked him, he said, I do that because then I get what I want and I can fix it however I want it and it tastes the way I want it and it's my day. But I thought, well, that's a good reasoning. But he's kind of a neat guy. What's the matter? I did say that. And I answered her and I said, thank you. Did you hear me? So that- that's what matters. It is what matters. I should see if he wants to cook for us too, Don.
That'd be abnormal.
No, you cooking is not abnormal. No, asking Adolf next door if he wants to cook for us, as
Oh,
long as
they
his
want
one,
you to cook for me.
he should cook for you. No, I'm cooking today for you. But I know we were talking about taking the boat out for a trial. We haven't taken it out yet. It's always something that comes up. We've not had a really. It's just been
Oh,
a crazy.
busy schedule. So much going on right now.
He heard me, huh? Oh, so much going on. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it's crazy. We make plans in the morning and that we're gonna do that, and then something happens. You know, it's all cool, all whatever. Sometimes that's the way you should do it anyway. Play it by ear. Do things a little at a time.
Fresno, you didn't get out and do any fishing last night? If so, I missed you.
I need to get my. I gotta go check on my little one. I think he's back in now. I'll be right back.
So, happy Father's Day, Monty. Everybody. That's right. I got to have my fishing poles in there. But I want to put it on the river, but there's no way I'll put it on the river until I take it up to the lake because nothing should be wrong, but you know how that story goes. Tonight at 8:30, I'm going to try and catch some, even if we go out fishing. Good morning, Whiskers. Thank you for the happy Father's Day.
We always have whole boat. Even if we're just going out for a joyride, because you never know, you just get the urge anyway. Or put one out. John puts one out. We got our 3-year-old grandkids have been after Uncle Grandpa Don because they want him they want to go out fishing. We brought them. Uh, they got fishing poles on their. Um, we do a fishing day every year with the kids, where Don gets them all set up for fishing for the season, and they get new poles if they need them, and tackle to go with it. So this is their first year at getting their a pole to themselves. So they're pretty excited about it.
Well, small bites are better than nothing.
I'm still trying to get my first fish on the guard dog. I had a really good hit one day, and um I messed up trying to reel it in with my arm, and it got underneath the rocks, and I dropped my tip, and I lost it. I was trying to hand it off to my grandson and have him finish reeling it in for me, but it didn't work. So I feel bad, but it felt fun when I did it. It still was kind of cool watching that guard dog when it just went.
I'm going to drop out and come back in. I'm lagging. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I'm lagging now.
Well, I can't tell that you are. Why are you biting on me? And why this wild dog? I don't know. He drives me crazy. He's sitting here just chewing around, chewing on me. My fingers, he actually doesn't chew, he sucks on them.
Good morning, Doc. How are you this fine day? The link is at top if you want to come in. You got the ball, dear.
I know, watch this. Nope, can't, doesn't work, can't see him. Um, nope, I'm just here mumbling. All I'm doing is rambling for you, playing with the dog. But
Good
so
morning, Joe. Good to see you in here. Happy Father's Day to you.
have to find out, see if sister's out today. You heard of an 18 millimeter kidney stone? Anybody have one? my younger sister. That's what she was in a lot of pain. That's what they found out. They brought her down from where she lives by ambulance to the bigger hospital because they look to they need to get it out. But I never heard of I know they are, but we've never 18.
Well, thank you, AR. Good morning. Happy Father's Day to you, Jonathan.
Yes, happy Father's Day to both of you. What are you gonna do for the day?
So nice to have you all in here this morning. I had doubts whether I'd make it. I was so tired last night. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, that's enough now. Get down.
Got all spun up with the battleship last night. I wanted I wanted Lance to win so bad so that I could be against Lance. Well, my computer's doing all kinds of things. It keeps switching things around on me, and
This winter we'll go ahead and that's what we need to do is get you a new computer. You go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. That's enough. Gotta convince this dog I'm not a chew toy. Either that or all of a sudden it looks like you freeze.
I apologize if I miss anybody. My computer's doing some real things.
Maybe you got a poltergeist. Fishing. That's the way I felt like last week, though, and Don was writing them down last night, and he said, "Are you going to help me with this?" I said, "No, no way. You are on your own on that."
Yeah, I was trying to keep up and keep it straight, and that was tough. At least when I didn't get it straight, Rhonda, you were there to. I'd wait until you came up and that. Oh, I guess I was right. I only made one mistake last night, and I felt bad about it. But that was when I was waiting for somebody to put in their coordinates, and somebody else would come in and put in the coordinates, suggesting them to put that in. And I typed it in before I realized what I did. But it was fun. It was interesting. I would have had more fun giving people a hard time if I would have been just in chat. I would have been able to give Lance a harder time. But it was fun.
Yeah, I stayed in here rest before it started. But his little graph was so cute.
But I had my paperwork here, and I'd shuffle this way and shuffle that way, and I had it easy. I didn't have near as much stuff to keep track of. But anybody at top page, come on up and help her out today. She's on her own.
And I don't know how that happened. So I wish you'd stop it. We
She said she would answer any question that you ask her.
uh, like we used to this whole thing when it first started, I thought would be kind of fun. Battleship. We played that so much when we were kids. Not
Yeah.
the electronic one, of course, but a long time ago. I think it's still at my or the last I knew it was still around. Oh, look at that. He's got 4 sheets of legal paper with every guess he made last night, or every guess that was made. I was gonna do that if Patches was so wild last night. That's what I was gonna do is just guess the numbers, when somebody guessed between, then guess the filler numbers, and then write them down and then see if I was right later. That that's always fun to do, or I thought it would be fun to do.
My problem was hearing when Evan and Robin would say it, they wouldn't enunciate it very well, and I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Mhm.
But so then I wait for Rhonda to bail me out.
You always got some woman in there to bail you out. That's good.
That's what a woman's for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bail us guys out.
Kind of been doing it for 50 years once and
That's why they got all the money so that they can bail us out.
yeah, I had my hand out yesterday, didn't I?
Like usual.
No. Um, we have a 50th wedding anniversary this week.
Hey, I
Um,
have some good news though.
oh yeah, what's that?
I get to buy a new fishing pole. You bought a new pair of shoes, so now I get to buy a new fishing pole.
'Cause my shoes don't even come up close. Well, no.
Well.
Well, like last night maybe that pair, but yeah, no, they don't. But actually,
We're not talking about money. We're talking about 1 to 1 here.
oh, we never. I always told her we don't have to be even on money. We just have to be fair, and we were always fair. But speaking of, you need to fix my pole because you broke the tip off.
Well,
After,
I'm not sure who broke it off.
well, I made that decision. Oh, you need to fix it before because I like that one, and so before the well, before we go out, unless I take it down to Shields and have them fix it.
Yeah, I thought about that. They could do it a lot faster than I can.
I know. No offense, but by the time I wait for you to do it, I don't want to go fishing anymore.
See how confident she is in me?
It'll get put on the back burner. I feel like my moving too much. Um, yeah, no, I don't know how it got bent. I think it's in the dark and it got late, and I don't know when we put it in the truck or something.
It either got bent in the rod sack, because if it
I
kept
didn't.
there, though, it usually goes right through.
Well, I didn't put it on. And did you put it on the way home? I mean, before you left for home.
Back
I
on.
left and I just put it in the truck.
Hey, Tim, do you got a good one made up for the 25th for the 2v2? I'd like to see it kind of one way, one sided, and do a lot of jabbing at Avid and Robin and a lot of praising for me and Angelina. No, I didn't slam it the door because when I go fishing, I only got room for me and the dog. I all my poles go in the passenger seat and leaning back, so they have plenty of room. I
Yeah,
don't. I
I
used to put them in the box, but I think last year I replaced 3 or 4 tips. It was awful.
I don't remember that. There was that many. We had yeah, Don does that and then I have to figure out. drive my own way there and hope I don't get lost. No, I snuggle in the front seat with the poles.
Good morning, dear Holly. Happy Father's Day to me.
What's that about?
Your daughter said Happy Father's Day to me.
Which one?
Holly,
Hi, Holly. How are you? Did you just get to work? Why don't you come up? Haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you. No, I didn't. I take that back. I apologize. You came down and um this week. It just seems like, but when I miss you by the time you come and then you go for a couple weeks, then I miss you right away. But when did you come? I know you dropped in this week or last week, and it was nice. We enjoyed it. Are you guys busy? Probably most of you know Holly works at a bait shop, and it's like a mom and pop, but stuff that you need. I mean, you need where you on your way out to the water that you forgot or whatever that um, some tackle and of course the bait. And they always expect her to know what's biting, where it's biting, best place to go, everything like that.
good morning,
And
Emily.
it's a lot. What it's biting on. Do you make it up, Holly? No, kidding.
So, what's the fishing report, Holly? Come up
That's
and let us know what the fishing report is. Just click on that link at the top of the chat and come up and give us a fishing report.
you can if somebody comes in, then you can quit. No, or just walk away. And then when you come back, you can finish it.
Fish are biting. What fish? What kind of fish? Where?
Probably in one of those moods. That's what she gets tired of it sometimes. She said they're biting somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild week this week. We got 50th wedding anniversary for my brother-in-law. Are they still going to have it? Yes. Renee should be there. Should
Well,
be able.
it should be. She's the one that got the 18 millimeter. I can't get that out of my head. Um,
Kidney.
kidneys. Yeah. And Dawn's nephew's the one that did the surgery for her.
Really, you didn't tell me that.
I tell you, I couldn't hold you still long enough to talk to you last night. You were, I think you drank too much coffee listening, doing your YouTube thing, fishing thing. But yeah, that's who came down here. Best surgeon there is. Mhm. Well, that's our opinion, and that's okay. But yeah, no, he did the surgery. That's she was pretty sick. But she's tough, so she'll probably be able to do the.
Anyway, we got that on the night of the 24th,
Yep.
big 50th wedding anniversary. The 24th is my birthday. The 25th, and the anniversary's about 2.5 hours away with a time zone change in there. And then the 25th, we have that 2v2 going on, and Monday, Tuesday, doctor's appointments. And I don't even know what else for the rest of the week, but I'm hoping to get out and Wanted to get out and fish at least one more time before the 25th. And then we got that one more battleship thing to do, and it'll
And
be the Battle of the Guard Dogs. Which, if you look at the bottom, Battle of guarddogproducts.com, promo code Dawn5. How is that, Tim, for an info commercial?
getting good there. Just rattled it right off, didn't you?
Well, I was reading it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't remember it. I have to read it.
That's all right. Oh, it's such a pretty day out today. We should have sat outside and had it. There's the wind isn't the wind's no blowing, and and you got a pretty day in North Dakota when it's not windy out because we're windy a lot. Trees are blossoming. Got pheasants in the front yard. They walk across the yard and Patches barks at people and dogs. The pheasants walk around across the yard, and he just sits there and watches them walk by. That's kind of
He's
strange.
probably wondering how they can stay up on two legs. That's why he's been practicing standing up on his back two legs.
So I think it's the fact that I don't know. I think he doesn't want him to scare him away or something. He even lets him the robins and the finches drink out of his water. Or I should say they let him drink out of his water and they're not afraid of, I don't know, strange thing. But God, let somebody's dog or people walk by or pass the house and nuts.
Should do some gardening today. I got my chives need to be cut down, and I
Can't
need
believe you're Don never gardened or anything, did any of that until this year. He did do some in Virginia when he was home. He yeah, remember I went back to North Dakota and you were there by yourself, so you had to I planned that, did that. We planted a huge garden and then I
two.
went to Dakota yeah, and left for North Dakota and everything came in at the same time. And Don had to harvest it or lose it. So that was the first time he's ever done anything like that. So while I was in North Dakota, he's making pickles, every kind of pickle you can imagine. He experimented with. He called mothers up and aunties up and grandmothers up and asked for recipes for their pickle, the ones he liked as a kid. You did pickled beets. He made cream corn, homemade cream corn. I was pretty proud of you. Tomatoes, you canned tomatoes. I can't think of what else you did. Butter beans. There's a lot.
Butter beans, corn, tomatoes, squash, zucchini.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's when I found out that if you slice squash and freeze it, it comes out mushy. But if you take and shred it and then freeze it, it comes out nice and crispy. Who would have figured? The old days of blanching things. No, don't even wash them. Just bag them up and freeze them.
Yeah. The corn that way. Well, we did the corn a couple of different ways, practicing with it, see which way we liked best. With the cream corn, I was impressed. It was really good. He got that recipe from his mother. Bless her heart.
Well, I went to do it the second time, and when I was
Yeah.
corn off the cobs. It was probably midnight, and I had to be at work by 6 in the morning, and I had an hour commute. And so I thought, well, I'm going to speed this up. So I grabbed my electric fillet knife and figured I'd cut it off with that. Not a good idea. It cut the hull
That's also
off and everything. So when I started cooking it down, all the hulls was mixed in with the corn, and I couldn't figure out any way to separate them. And so I lost that whole batch. And then we had chickens and ducks and geese and uh, peacocks and guineas, and
did you say turkeys? We had turkeys.
yeah, we had turkeys. Paulette didn't like turkeys because they were so big they'd knock her over.
I go out. John was out on travel, and they'd see that can pail in my hand, and they'd come running. I'd drop the pail, and I'd take off running too in the opposite direction. Otherwise, I ended up flat down on my keister. And one mean rooster. Don't forget the rooster.
Yeah.
He's he hated me.
Yeah, the turkeys, I was so proud, man. I raised them nice and big. And when I gave them to this family, they went to cook them for Thanksgiving, and it wouldn't fit in the oven. But it was probably a 50-pound turkey. And the other family that I gave one to, they cut it in half and cooked it at two different times.
They cut it in quarters. Remember? Because the halves even were too big. Didn't they do quarters? And they had so much turkey, and she froze the meat, and the recipe she made was hilarious. She ground it up, so she would had uh ground turkey and made lasagna with it, but they did that before they cooked it. So it was fresh ground turkey, and then they went ahead and froze it, and she made lasagna with it, but it was healthy.
Good morning, shopkeeper. You know, he comes in every Sunday.
It does. Hi,
If you guys
shopkeeper.
don't have shopkeeper, look him up, check him out. That's for everybody out there. Check each other out. If somebody doesn't mind dropping links, have at it. And if somebody doesn't mind dropping links,
Dropped ons.
boy, my computer is messed up. It's doing all kinds of funky things. But yeah, shopkeeper comes in every Sunday. I'm so happy with the amount of people that are coming in.
You're
There
starting
again.
to you went behind. He's gone.
No, it's working, Holly. I'm just letting your mom have fun today.
Yeah, I don't know what that came about.
Well, I thought one of these gentlemen out in the chat or ladies would come up and help you out. I figured Rhonda'd come up and you two would talk stories about me.
No stories about you, babe. Did you know it was Father's Day when you woke up this morning? Or did you remember it was?
Well, yeah, I said Happy Father's Day to myself last night before I went to bed.
Oh, you could, yeah, because it was after midnight, of course.
Good
always.
morning, Lance. See, that's some of the problem. Lance kept me up too late.
Mm. We have to figure out some way where I don't wake up if you when you come to bed, because then that's it. I'm done. I broke the coffee pot this morning, so I set the alarm early so I could run down because I didn't want to go down there at night. I don't like to go to Walmart at night anymore, late night, real late, because I did this late. And I to buy a new coffee pot this morning so I could make coffee. Don's got to have his coffee. Or we don't have a good day. But I was trying to decide whether to stop at Caribou's or just go buy a pot. And I figured by the time it would be just as less money or cheaper, whatever you want to say, to buy a new pot than keep trying to um, buy Caribou coffee to keep up.
Shopkeeper, tell him where you're from. He's way across the water.
Lance Don's been trying to catch fish for a long time.
Well, thank you for your support, dear.
No, I was trying to agree with Lance. It's the right thing. Mhm. He's
Good morning, Brenda. And how are you this fine Navy day?
Freedom Redbird. Who is I'm sorry, I don't know that name. Remember hearing it before.
If you
Cool.
don't
And
have Brenda's, if you haven't got her hooked, might want to check it out. She does some pretty interesting things. I don't get as much time watching her as I'd like, but boy, I've been trying to ration my hours and get out and do some fishing.
yeah, that's the thing is you complain because you don't have enough time to fish, but you're on YouTube a lot. I know.
Tim, did you catch anything this morning or you just were live? I seen it, but I was trying to get this set up. Yeah, Brenda, it takes me a few cups of coffee sometimes, sometimes the whole pot before I'm not a good morning person. That's why I do most of my fishing in the evening. By that time, I'm finally getting up and moving around. But then I hate going to bed at night too.
That's something.
Watch me
That
butcher this.
morning, and I have my coffee.
Good
Yeah.
morning. I can recognize the names, but I sometimes not very good at pronouncing them. Well, thank you, Brenda.
Hello, Brenda. Who's Freedom Redbird dog?
I don't know how to explain it to you.
Okay.
One of
Are
my
you?
one of my friends that I subscribe to, and
Mm, I just haven't seen that
with her
name.
here and there and everywhere.
But anyway, hello from me too.
Yeah, Tim. The other night when I went fishing, I was 7 for 7 with the guard dog because I pretty much missed every bite I had. The dog was just insisting on having all my attention. Good morning, Connor. Welcome in. And so I wasn't watching my poles like I normally do, and I almost lost one pole in the water. Fish hit it, rod holder tipped over, and it started dragging across the ground. And I was cleaning one of my catfish at the time, and so my hands are all bloody and nasty, and I'm trying to run and catch the rod.
I wish I would have seen it.
Boy, that's just good size for eating, isn't it, Brenda? You get a thick enough fillet that you actually can cook them, and you can cook them a lot of different ways. But like the walleye here, people keep them 12, 14 inches long, and the fillets are so thin that you really have to be able to throw them in, take them out, and they're done. So, how many did you catch last night, Brenda? Good morning, Emily. You snuck in on me. The link is at the top of the chat if anybody wants to come in and shoot the breeze with us. I like doing it that way because I'm terrible at typing. And my computer is just jitterbugging all over the place. I hope it ain't doing the same on your end. It's like I got something running that's using up all the CPU time or something.
Chicken. I just
I've been toying with the idea of getting a small laptop or something that I can take out when I go live so I can actually read it. I have a terrible time doing stuff on the phone.
my fingers don't work as good as they used to.
Yeah, I like just good old fried fish sometimes.
Oh, John made a recipe when we were out camping with our or my sister and her husband this last weekend or couple weekend. But what did steelhead? He what was the name of it? The dish itself. It was very good, but it was kind of
Oh, Pecos salmon, Pecos trout. It's steelhead's a trout, so it was Pecos trout.
yeah. Yeah, I knew it was a trout, but I just said steelhead. Did I say salmon?
No, I did.
Oh, you did. But I think you can make it, well, you can make it with any kind you want, really, but it needs to be a sort of a thick fillet. But it was really good. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have something, like a fancier dish or whatever you want to say, entree to go with your and besides just, you know, a fried's good, but sometimes it's just kind of nice to have something different. But they really liked it. They really enjoyed it. The younger kids, which were in their 20s or 30s, they were like, oh, they didn't know if they were gonna like it, and but they finished it up. They liked it too.
Shopkeeper, I had a pretty good day Thursday out fishing. I caught seven in about an hour and a half, and they were all between 4 and 6 pounds. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you. Yeah, I usually try to drop in on him before I go live, but this morning I was running kind of late and never got a chance to. So nice to see you come in and visit. I appreciate it. And if anybody wants a good channel, go to Tracy's channel and check it out. Rich and Judith CFM. Check these channels out if you don't have them. They're all pretty good. I try to keep a good group of people around me like this.
Is Rich and Judith on right now? Are they in chat?
No, Tracy said that they sent their love. They're live this morning fishing. I'll have to go back
Uh,
and watch it afterwards. Good morning, Dallas.
I wanted just to tell them thank you for the card they made. You know, it was it was YouTube. I mean, it was a video card, but it was it was fun. It was cute. That they always do fun things.
Yeah, I think they were carp fishing. Good morning, Gene. Thanks for stopping in. If you ain't got Gene's link, pick it up. He's pretty good people. All these guys, I just so proud of everybody that comes in here, and I don't have to worry. Oh, there's Rich. I don't have to worry about problems, and everybody's mellow, and it's a great time.
Rich, thank you for that card that you sent. That was really cute and that was fun watching Judith open up that gift. But yeah, it was fun. That was nice.
Yeah, it was worth the made it all worthwhile. Is I guess the way you say it.
Yeah, I stopped. I mailed that from like one of those little um it was a post office, um but it doesn't have all the services inside our grocery store on the line here, and it was a young kid that waited on me, and he was just he did the paperwork like 3 times. He'd fill it out, throw it away, fill it out again. He just I don't know why he was having, but he was enjoying it and visit. I didn't know they would have kids quite so young. He graduated from high school. In fact, his graduation was that night when he was working. But he thought it was so cool that he was had to fill out all this paperwork for Canada. But anyway, we did that. I don't know if but it's nice. I never used the post office part of it that much, but it sure beats going to the big post office and standing in line for heavens know how long. John left the chat line, so we have to wait and see what's happening there. So he'll have to catch up when he gets back. He goes to Mayo too. In fact, I know he's procrastinating making the appointments. This time they want him to call in. Usually they just set it all up the time. This time they told him to pick a time and or call them and schedule the appointment. Again, not looking forward to going down. It's We have to try to figure out a way to make it a fun trip instead of just driving for hours to see a doctor and then turn around driving for hours home. Maybe we can fish one way or another. If we can find somebody. The dog usually goes to my daughter's house. He loves to go there. A room to run, more dogs to play with, and then he goes to work with her. He likes to go to work with her and greet all the truck drivers. It's kind of funny. John left. Yeah. But I know he enjoyed last night, I think, but he got so stressed out on it at first, doing it. with this. We're gonna have to just break down and get him a new computer, I think. He's had this computer since he retired from the Navy, I think. Isn't this computer you retired when you retired from the Navy? You haven't had a new computer since you retired from the Navy, right? Isn't this the one you had? You waving at
I had to come get my coffee.
Yeah, I know. I You should have knocked on the wall. That's what you usually do. After what he knocks on the wall sometimes, then that means he wants coffee or whatever, and then I run it back. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I'm like, okay, no way, I'm not a maid today. But my mother got him a red bell, like a school bell that you just dingle when he had one of his surgeries, because she kind of babies him, and set it up by his end table. And when mother left, he'd ring her bell and ring that bell, or when mother was there, he'd ring that bell, and she would run over and get what he had, well, needed or whatever. Well, then a little longer while she was there, he'd ring the bell and she said, Paul, your husband needs this or that. I think she got tired of the bell too. When mom left, something happened to the bell. So I'm not certain where, it just disappeared. So now he knocks on the wall. So did you get
I
chance?
hope I didn't miss too much.
Well, catch up. Look at your chat.
I am. You know how slow I read.
I know. I
Oh,
wish,
12-pound
wish,
carp. That's pretty awesome.
what's that?
Rich caught a 12-pound carp today. I tell
Oh,
you, if you haven't seen Rich's video on a snapping turtle, you gotta see it. That is so awesome. And I would like to congratulate Lance McCouguy for last night's tournament having the least amount of hits for the night.
what, on his boat? Or what? What do you mean?
Yeah, in that battleship tournament, he had the least amount of hits of everybody.
Oh, oh, nobody guessed his number. Nobody found his boat, huh?
Yeah, Joe, that's why I kind of stepped in and cut her off before she could tell on me.
If I knew if he was, I would tell on you.
Just a little interruption and she forgets, like me, when we get old, and it just goes away.
Excuse me. What's
Oh,
age to do with it? What did I forget?
nothing, dear. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, and Lance caught the biggest fish for the tournament.
well, good.
All right, Brenda, you have a good day too.
Bye, Brenda.
But I had fun. I wish I wasn't quite so busy so I could give you a hard time last night, Lance. But there were sometimes I wanted to holler in there and say, "Are you guys stupid? Pick this number," because I was sitting with the sheet and I knew where all the ships were, and uh, and to me it looked so obvious.
Love it.
But
It is. Guess it, and you have or it's sitting and staring at you.
yeah, Gene, he even did it with the guard dog.
Mm.
I'm so impressed with those. Uh oh, must be commercial time. For your guard dog, go to guarddogproducts.com and use promo code DAWN5 for a discount. And back to you, Paula.
God.
Tim's training me.
I think you're losing it.
Oh yeah, you're right, Tim. I'm sorry. He did catch that 35 pounders. That was
Well,
his PB for a night. He caught a 35 plus pound catfish last night on the battleship.
really?
Yeah, it was his personal best. I forgot all about that. I was just concentrated on Lance.
You never you never told me that. That's I mean, that's a big fish, right? Huh? That's kind of cool.
He was having a hard time weighing it because it
Okay.
wouldn't sit still and his scale wouldn't lock in. He'd run out of poop and have to put it down before he'd get it the scale to lock in.
Pull back up and get it all set.
Yeah, I do that on 10 pounders. But
That's cool.
I was looking on my boat from the T-top, rigging something up where I can hang my scale up there for times like that with a little pulley system to pull them up.
Hmm. Isn't it?
Oh,
Well, we don't have
endorsements.
much.
Don't know how to do that. You ain't trained me on that yet.
Donald, did you hear?
What?
I said, you don't we have to worry about that too much. We haven't been catching that big a fish.
Well, thanks for telling everybody that. They
Well,
thought I was out there catching 100 pounders
yeah,
and 300 pounds of fish in a night.
maybe go with Alaska.
I was happy when that what
You had nice cats down the other night, and they're
yeah,
not like
yeah,
to
about
eat.
30 pounds worth altogether, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like
Well,
that.
but that's the size I like when because we brought it. We were fishing for the freezer, as long as it wasn't a fishing tournament or whatever. But those are the size I like. I was thinking, yeah, when we went catfishing. You remember when we went catfishing in mm, North Carolina? And we went to that restaurant and they have that fish boil, and everybody had said how good it was, which it was. And it was really a neat little place. And they didn't have napkins, they had paper towels in the middle on a roll. And then they had candles, of course, on the table. And but the tables weren't very big, and you when they brought the food, everything got mashed together. And
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
that's the time you started that on fire.
I know. I caught the whole and it just flamed up the whole roll. So that's how high the fire was. Well, and then the waiter came over, was waiting on the table behind us, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, because I wanted some water or something at the time." And to put the fire out, and I said, and it wasn't a small fire, it was getting pretty big, and it was like, what the heck? So I said, "Excuse me, sir, we have a problem." And he said, "Ma'am, just wait, just let me finish up with this couple and I'll be back to help you." And I thought, you see this burning paper towel right there in it? And then, and really, and I'm serious, kind of, he just waited on that couple all the while this paper towel roll's burning. And Dawn got up at the neighboring table and she said, "Excuse me." And he took their pitcher of water and then poured the water over top of the fire and put it out. And when we left, we had paid at the front. And the guy asked, we told him, we said, "We had a very nice evening. The food was really good. Thank you very much. And I was really sorry about the fire." And he said, "Was that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no." But yeah, that was funny. We had fun. But we got there was we never caught any fish that weekend either, did we?
I don't know. No, Joe, I'm not in Virginia anymore. I worked a lot in that area, and then I retired from there. So we were there, oh,
Yeah, I don't remember
the
either.
last time, and so we were probably in that area about 18 years worth
Total.
between Fort Meade and DC and in Norfolk.
Yeah. Because we lived there 3 separate occasions, transfers, I think. 2 or 3.
Yeah, three different times.
Huh?
Two times for for 4 years each, and then the last time for 10 years.
We covered from the northern Virginia down to southern Virginia, right on the North Carolina border.
Sorry, Dink, you're having those problems. When hurricane came through Virginia, when we were there, we put my generator in the back of the pickup, and I was driving around with all the neighbors, and we'd let them charge their do their freezers and refrigerators for a few hours, and then we go to the next neighbor and just kept going around. We were without power for well over a week.
Oh yeah.
Line was down right outside the house because when it happened, the lines were laying low, and some guy had a ladder in his truck sticking way up in the air and caught the line and tore it off. Otherwise, we'd never lost power. I thought, what an idiot.
It was a good way to meet your neighbors. I was very impressed. That was a nice thing to do because some you left the generator at some of the places and then you go back and pick it up.
Yeah,
And
we were kind of bouncing around with it and helping as many people as we could. And we had a well, so when we wanted water, we had to have generator to get water.
yeah, who was it that helped you? Who helped you with the generator that time? Was somebody staying with us?
No, no, it was yeah, what's his name?
Ben?
Ben. Yeah,
Yeah, Ben. Yeah. Well, and then he was a local, so he knew, the people that would probably, need it the most or yeah, that was fun. You were
yeah. He was born and raised there and worked at Smithfield meat packing, pork packing plant all his life, and
mm,
but he really didn't. Uh, he
what?
was set in his ways. You know, they did their gardens their way, and I did mine the way I knew how to do it from North Dakota, and they all shake their heads at me. And how can you raise a garden like that? And everything was Silver Queen corn, and I like peaches and cream, and they wouldn't even try it. No, I like Silver Queen, and so it was funny. You know, if they came over for supper, it had to be fried pork chops in a lot of grease. If you made them any different way, you wouldn't eat. And I'd sit down with and shuck some butter beans, and they'd have a whole bucket done, and I'd be working on my first cup.
Yeah, we were so, and they always finished our stuff up. I would get behind, especially on those, and then his wife would come on up and she said, I thought I'd come up and visit, and she actually came up to catch me up on the garden, mostly doing the butter beans. On-
Yeah, Carol and them gals, boy, I tell you, every time we had once a month potluck at church, you'd have 4 or 5 ladies bring butter beans because theirs was the best. and they were, after so many years, they were so adamant about it, it just crack you up.
And you had to set the plate, the dishes on the right order too. Um, on the on the because there was a pecking order. So when you set the buffet up, you had to set the dishes up in the right area and whose was first after the plates. They were good people, good, really good people. God loving people. We've been blessed.
Yeah, Joe, I was stationed, or I lived at right on Fort Meade, and then I worked out by the airport.
We've been blessed to know so many nice people when we traveled, made good friends, and kept in touch with a lot of them.
My computer's making my eyes go funny. It keeps
Is it?
jumping.
You can't see it on this end, but is that why your face isn't here with me? You have your little short.
All right, I'll put my face with you. But my face is jumping around though. It's delayed on my screen. And
That was,
so it was driving me nuts that I would say something and then a couple seconds later I'd see my mouth move. That's why.
oh, that would drive me nuts to go ahead and put the other guy back on.
That's what I did, Joe. I worked for NSA. I actually was a instructor out out by the airport. I taught computer systems and stuff. So from time I went in the Navy, I was around that world all through my career. Many different places and things. It was interesting, but I sure was glad. Yeah, Joe, I did 20 years active duty and then I did 10 years as a civilian working for doing the same thing I'd been doing 20 years prior.
And then he just says, one day, let's end it. So we bought a house online that we never saw. We had our parents and a sister-in-law go check it out. And then we closed on the house and we never saw it until after we had the closing was done. Hmm, that was fun too.
Yeah, when we closed our facility on the West Coast and moved everything to Norfolk, everybody went out and bought these big fancy houses in Virginia Beach and everything. And Paulette and I, we went out west of Suffolk in the farming community and bought a little
In the
house. It was a 1 bedroom house, and they added on 1 bedroom to it, so it was real tiny, and it was on 3.5 acres, and we had the time of our life. We enjoyed so much being both growing up on farms, getting back to gardens and chickens. And when I retired, I was just then investigating into getting some miniature cows or goats. I like the Borgos. I wanted to get a couple, and she kind of put her foot down at getting the cows or the boat or the goats. But the miniature cows, you actually pound for pound get more meat off a miniature cow than you do a regular sized cow. So if you take a 500-pound uh, miniature cow and a regular cow, the miniature cow may have 70% is meat, where a regular cow only 60% is meat. The rest is bones and stuff. I found that pretty interesting. But we did a lot of butchering. My grandson come out, never been around animals, and went to feed the chickens, and the rooster got on his case and had him backed in the corner, and he was crying and screaming and yelling, and so Grandpa showed him how to take care of a mean roaster, and we ate good that night.
I don't know if it was a good lesson to teach him, but it made you mad too.
Yeah, I hate that when they would be good for quite a while, and then about 2 years or so, then they when they get to be that age, all of a sudden they seem to find that mean streak in them, and so
Which makes me mad at you now, Don.
yeah, we let the hens and stuff and all hatch your own eggs if they're willing to say it set. And we had one duck, man, she was regular. She always laid eggs. And one guy at work, he just loved getting those duck eggs. And then some other friends of ours, they loved getting the duck eggs because they bake so much. And if you use duck eggs for bacon, it just really makes it richer and better. But that guy used to fry them up. To me, they were too rubbery.
Yeah, just for baking. You know, Donald, I, for myself, am going to cut this off because I go outside and my phone, I'm charging it, but it's ready to die. But I just wanted to say, um, again, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Donald, you especially, and I love you. And I'm
You're
gonna
gonna,
go.
you're
Okay.
gonna lose all my followers. We don't get mushy on these shows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Uh, we got a lot of things we're gonna do today, so we're gonna cut this short. And I wish
Exactly.
everybody happy Father's Day. And my computer, I don't know what it's doing. So you all have a great day, and thank you so much for coming in and visiting with us. I hope you got some good links and met some good people. And we'll catch you next Sunday. Take care, all.
Bye bye.
Bye.